Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambeau channel. I made a video the other day where I was dispelling the myth that central bank digital currencies will be created on top of the XRP ledger. That's a bunch of silly nonsense, but it is true that central banks have contacted Ripple to learn about the XRP ledger and perhaps use it at least to some degree as a model for their own central bank digital currencies, because it's open source technology, so they can do it if they want to. And the neat thing about all of this is that XRP is the only cryptocurrency that's being positioned as a bridge currency globally. It's the only one that's being positioned for that particular use case. And don't forget, liquidity is a factor here. So if Ripple's making sure to the best of their ability that XRP is sufficient liquidity, especially as the years pass. You can't just create a new cryptocurrency, no matter what its awesome attributes are, and then have sufficient liquidity. So it kind of goes back to the idea of, like, once there's a standard and it's in place, it's hard to supplant it for a particular use case. And so if Ripple gets this one and positions XRP as a bridge currency and it's meaningfully adopted, good luck supplanting it until insanely disruptive technology comes along that we can't even fathom. And so that would be outside the realm of blockchain, I certainly suspect here. But in the meantime, as this happens, as central banks come online with their own digital currencies, which will be centralized fiat currencies, XRP will be right there positioned to take advantage of that. And so I've got a couple articles on this topic I want to share with you. First one comes from the Daily Hodl. It's titled, "Digital Dollar, Euro, and Yuan Will Be Rocket Fuel for Bitcoin, Predicts CNBC's Brian Kelly." I also have this piece from News Logical titled, "XRP's Bridge Between Central Bank Digital Currencies, Cryptos, and Cash," says company's head of product. Before we go any further, if you would please delicately tap the like button, I would definitely appreciate the support. Because if you do, it will simply tell the YouTube machine that you don't completely hate this particular Moon Lambeau content, and then YouTube will be more likely to promote this to other individuals out there in the wild. And also, go ahead and subscribe to the Moon Lambeau channel, because if you don't subscribe to the Moon Lambeau channel, you are dead to me. All right, into the content now. CNBC's Brian Kelly says he believes central bank digital currencies will ultimately boost Bitcoin and the crypto markets. In a new episode of Fast Money, the chief executive officer of digital currency investment firm BKCM says the stark contrast between Bitcoin's fixed supply and seemingly endless money printing from governments will only become more magnified as fiat currencies around the world go digital. And here's a quote, and this is interesting. Check this out. "In terms of the digital euro or digital yuan or digital dollar, it's not actually competition for Bitcoin, because Bitcoin's core value proposition is that it has a fixed supply. I can't imagine the European Central Bank issuing a digital currency that is going to have a fixed supply. In fact, I would think it would make it a lot easier for them to digitally print more money. I actually think those are more of a risk for fiat currency holders, and it highlights why Bitcoin is a digital gold-like product." Now, I happen to feel the same. I do. I've made it clear that I'm not a fan of the debasement of the United States dollar or any fiat currency. We've seen this play out historically. Any fiat currency, especially if a global reserve, even if a global reserve would be a better way to word that, even if it takes a little bit longer, throughout history, we've seen what happens. We've seen this story. If you just print endlessly, it's no longer going to be the global reserve. We know how this movie ends if something is not changed. And it's a legitimate concern, fair point to bring up here. Now, interestingly, as central bank digital currencies come online, it is really just a new form of the dollar, which is already digital. And that's why when we talk about digital, it's like, I'm always like, we're going to have like these semantics problems. Like, descriptive terms matter, right? Because the dollar's already digital. Yes, there's a paper and metallic version. Oh, metallic currency. I hate coins. Physical coins? No, thank you. Like, like 80-year-old grandma at the grocery store who's been held up as she opens her purse to take out like nickels and dimes. Like, oh my God. No metal coins, please. Put them away. Just, it's like, okay, I'll write a check. No, don't write a check. Just, do you have a credit card? Like, do you Apple Pay? I don't know, just something. But anyway, I digress. But what's going to be cool about this is, as we have this new version of the digital dollar and other fiat currencies, what will be associated with this are digital wallets. Effectively, what the United States government and every other government around the world can do is cut out, the need for like checking accounts and stuff like this. So whether or not they'll do that, we'll see. But it shouldn't be the government's job to ensure the viability of the business models of banks. It should not be. And so if they're going to create a digital dollar, a digital fiat currency, there should be a wallet associated with that, so that you don't need that intermediary. So then it's just you and the good old government right there. Now, if that happens, if indeed that does happen, that's where it starts to get interesting, because people will become more accustomed to using actual digital wallets. Now we're talking about getting into the realm of crypto, because that's going to be much more similar. And I think that the user interface for decentralized cryptocurrencies will increase. And so then you'll have wallets that can hold, presumably, the whatever fiat central bank digital currency you're holding, along with your decentralized cryptocurrencies. And so when you need to convert from one to the other, what do you think is going to happen? How much easier is this going to be? And you're talking about moving money around the planet. Well, holy hell, if it becomes much less expensive on top of that, you're going to spur a lot more adoption. And then we're talking about real-world utility of XRP. And that is sufficiently meaningful to me. Shout out to BondCrypt XRP for sending this next piece my way. This is the one from NewsLogical titled XRP's Bridge Between Central Bank Digital Currency and Cryptos and Cash, says says company's head of product. It is impossible for any form of government's currency to dominate the world, says Ripple's Craig DeWitt, Senior Director of Products. DeWitt is an opinion shared on Twitter, reiterated that it is almost impossible for any government, no matter how powerful, to coast the world with its currency. He opined that it will not be possible for any government's currency, be it digital, cash, or central bank digital currency, to own the financial industry entirely. Yeah, now that is a rather salient point, and that's what we've seen historically. What we're actually seeing is this is part of the reason that China's doing what they're doing. They'd love to get ahead in the central bank digital central bank digital currency game by launching theirs sooner than later. And if the United States lag behind, I don't doubt that they have like a decades-long plan to supplant the United States dollar in terms of the global reserve status. I don't know if they're going to find success in that at all. And it does pose a fun question too of would instead, one day down the road, a decentralized cryptocurrency fill that role? And the answer is maybe. I don't know, but it's reasonable to postulate such a thing. Anyway, the Ripple employee pushed forward that XRP token will therefore become the bridge between all the available currency globally. He mentioned that you will see a decentralized bridge asset facilitate global exchange between government currencies. And so here, let me just read the whole tweet because it's actually on the screen right now. You won't see a single government's currency dominate the world. You will see a decentralized bridge asset facilitate global exchange between government currencies. Cash, digital, central bank digital currency, whatever. I think that bridge is XRP. That's the full quote from Craig DeWitt. I think that bridge is XRP. And again, there's no other coin being positioned for that. And what other cryptocurrency, at least at the time I'm recording this in November of 2020, what other cryptocurrency from a technological perspective could even do that, even if they had sufficient liquidity in corridors the world over? Well, pretty much none, right? So that's why it's interesting to watch all of this unfold. Now, earlier, DeWitt had mentioned how cryptocurrencies continued to suffer in the hands of unclear regulatory procedures, which at the moment makes Ripple Labs Inc. Be considering moving out of the U.S. The Ripple official had sued for patience in the crypto industry over the uncertainty in crypto regulation. Yeah, well, as far as the lawsuits, we'll see. I mean, I don't pretend to know for sure which way it's going to go, but the lawsuit on the face of it all just seems so absurd that I have a hard time believing that something horrendously detrimental is going to happen to Ripple, the company. But, let's just sit back and enjoy the roller coaster ride. We'll see where all this goes. But suffice it to say, utility matters and will win the day. That's what I firmly believe. And XRP is, again, as I keep saying, the only cryptocurrency being positioned as a bridge currency for the entire planet. That's it. And so, and as far as the implementation too, like if you're talking about if you're talking about on a different level, kind of like what Ripple's doing right now with RippleNet and on-demand liquidity, I mean, you have to build out the software. Like this void is not just going to be filled magically by some other cryptocurrency that swoops in with a cape just because it exists. No, like that doesn't make any damn sense, because you have to have all the infrastructure around it. You have to have a software that makes the implementation of this possible, which in this case would be RippleNet and on-demand liquidity, but which is it's just an automated algorithm. It's an efficient path-seeking algorithm. That's what on-demand liquidity is. Somebody has to write that, and then somebody has to offer customer support. And so there's not going to be some other cryptocurrency that just magically swoops in because it exists and takes all the glory from XRP for that use case. That just doesn't make any logical sense. And so it is fun to think through, though, and it's exciting to see all of this actually happening. We had just a few weeks ago the first ever central bank digital currency in the world come out, and it was from the Bahamas. How about that, right? It was funny. I remember reporting that. I was like, yeah, here you go. The world's very first central bank digital currency from underdog, the Bahamas. Who was going to guess that one? Not me. I didn't even know they were making one, but it exists. It's functionally out in the wild now. They are number one. They beat everybody else on the planet, even the Chinese, in that race. So how about that? Interesting stuff. All right, that's it for this video. I am not a financial advisor. Do not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.